What's up, everybody? Zach with the NerdCave, and this week in gaming, COD comes to Game Pass. Last of Us is getting another game, and college football gets a trailer. This is the NerdCave News, and I am your host this week, Zach Dykes. This episode is brought to you by the Epic Game Store, where you can support us by using creator code NerdCave at checkout, and it's also brought to you by Coffee Brand Coffee and our wonderful patrons, but more about that later. Everybody tell me how you're doing down in the comments below. A little bit of housekeeping next week, next Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Central Time is our community game night. We're going to be playing some games with everybody, so make sure to be there. It's going to be awesome. Probably play a little bit of Fallout, might play something else as well, just kind of seeing how that's going to go. But I am looking forward to getting to hop in and play some games with everybody. Hope everyone is having a great week. To the first segment of the evening, what you been playing? I have only played one game, and that was on Tuesday, and that is Fallout 76. I played a good chunk over there, and it's all right. Like it's all right. It's not something that I think I will put a ton of time into. I feel like Fallout 76 does not explain a lot of things. And I know it's like, oh, well, it's a big game and all of that. I don't have time for a game that doesn't explain things. Now, some people, I'm sure like Dan will say, well, Zach, you actually have to read you have to read the instructions you're getting in the game. And I'm like, you probably are right. I'm not even going to lie. You're probably right on that. But I don't feel like it holds your hand enough. There's games that hold your hand too much. And then there's games that don't hold your hand at all. I need just a little bit of hand holding. You know what I mean? Just a little bit of hand holding would be fine for me. So we'll more likely play Fallout 76 on Tuesday a little bit. We might play some maybe X Defiant. That just came out, a little shooter that's free to play and everything. So I might check it out and see how it is. But yeah, Fallout 76, I think the story is there, but I don't know how much I'm going to put into it, especially with Senua's Saga just coming out, which has come out to mixed reviews, which I've been very surprised about. And I think that is one of the reasons why a lot of people have been a lot of people have been reviewing it poorly and everything. So I'm not sure how it's all going to go down. I'm not sure how it's all going to go down, but we'll see. But yeah, I've got a lot of other things that I want to play. Harold Halibut. I want to play more of Little Kitty Big City. So there's a lot of things going on right now. So it's definitely going to be an interesting year full of games. Yes, community game night. It also may have been because you went to level 20 to start and decided you didn't need a tutorial. See, I don't know if that's the cause, Dan. I don't know if that's the cause, because like if you play Destiny, I don't know if it works the same way as Destiny, but if you play Destiny, you can start and they will level up your character like to level 20. I remember that in the first one, when later on in the season and everything in the series. So I don't know if that's the same way, but I don't know. I think the tutorial was literally just walking through the vault and like the little robots were like, hey, brr, 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 brr. And it's like, okay. So I don't know. And we said, just saw the Beetlejuice trailer. It looks good. I'm curious if that movie is going to be anything. Yes. I know it's Bungie and this is Bethesda, 100%. So we'll have to see if everybody else has the same issues as I had the other night. But that's what I've been playing. Y'all let me know what you've been playing. Been trying to take kind of a break on playing again. Still trying to get a little bit better on my thumb. I did get a new keyboard and mouse. I got the MX vertical mouse. It's 57 degrees vertical. It's supposed to be like a handshake. I don't know if I like it. There's some things that I do like about it, but it feels very light. I wish it was a little heavier, just because I feel like my hand, like it slips out of my hand too often. That's my biggest issue with this mouse. So MX Vertical. There's another one. I think it's the MX Lightweight or something like that. It's a little bit smaller than this one, but I do like some of the functionalities. That you can program all this kind of stuff. So I like that. I also got a keyboard, which I'm not using right now because I have to have things set up a certain way. But this is the Logitech Ergo. Look at that thing. Look at that thing. For audio listeners, I'm holding up a keyboard. But yeah, I like it. It's nice. And what's interesting, instead of the like feet being on the back, it's on the front of the thing. Um so if you're standing up, you can actually like get the right thing. um oh, Joe says his mouse has adjustable weight to it. I like that. I like that. Dan says, been playing Plague Tale Requiem. Fantastic game. Fantastic game. More people need to play that game. It's pretty good, and the graphics are very pretty. I would agree. The game looks gorgeous, and the story is really good, especially like how big that team is. They did a fantastic job. Yeah, I hope it helps with the wrist as well. Just trying to get used to new devices is always an interesting thing. Joe says my keyboard is the cheapest great value brand. Hey, it gets the job done. It gets the job done. Guys, make sure to hit the like button. We're about to get into the gaming discussion. Let me know what you're playing. Has anybody tried out the Marvel Rivals game? I keep seeing stuff about it, and I'm like, do I give this thing a chance? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I should. I feel like I'm gonna get sucked back into Overwatch. It's like I don't know if I can handle that. I don't have time to play a multiplayer game. Don't have time to play a multiplayer game on the regular. So it is what it is. But I'm curious if anyone has played it and what they think about it. Y'all let me know down in the comments, because now we're getting into the gaming discussion. First up this week, Call of Duty hits Game Pass this fall. Microsoft plans to add the latest Call of Duty game to Game Pass this fall. This move follows Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard last year. Despite the acquisition, Call of Duty will still be available on the PlayStation. They signed a 10-year deal. Also with Nintendo, they signed one. The upcoming game is rumored to be a Black Ops installment set in the Gulf War, which I think would be a very interesting timeline. And reports hint at a Call of Duty 2026 being set in the Ghost timeline and another release in 2027. So why does this matter? So this is a huge thing. I've talked about it several times, me and Derek on the show. This is a big shift in Microsoft's strategy, because this is making Game Pass a huge part of their plan. They would rather get people to buy Game Pass for several months. We did the math. It would be like $200 and something compared to $70 of the game. So a lot of Call of Duty players, they will play the game for the whole year until the next one comes out. So if I said, I can give you $70 right now, or I can give you $260, you probably would actually get, you would go for the $260. And I think that's what Xbox is doing here. Yes, PC players are still going to buy it. If they've got Game Pass Ultimate, then they can get it there. PlayStation gamers are going to get it, of course, because PlayStation gamers do love Call of Duty. So this is huge. I think this is a big shift. We've talked about, it felt like a Ross Rachel. If you get that reference, it felt like a Ross Rachel moment, were they on a break? Are they, that sort of deal. But we finally got an answer, and I'm excited to see what are what they're doing and everything. So I'm yeah, I I know after last week we heard from the head of Microsoft. Nadella is the CEO and Amy Hood is the CFO. That there was no line drawn. There's no red line drawn on games coming to other consoles and everything. So I think this is also another thing that they're like, yeah, we're doing this. We're making this count. We've got Call of Duty, so we're going to put it on Game Pass. And I think we will see more people going to Game Pass. They already have like 30 million people on Game Pass subscription, like 34, and their goal is to get 50. If we can see more people coming on to Game Pass because of Call of Duty, I think we will. I think we will, because a lot of people could spend $16 a month and get Call of Duty, but they can't afford 70. Like, that's a lot of money. When in this day and age, that is a lot of money, because money has to be put in other places. But $16, that feels a little bit more achievable than 70. But in the long run, Microsoft, Xbox is going to be making more money than they would just on a single sell. So that's kind of where everything is. I'm very curious to see how many new memberships get created, because gone are the days of the $1 Game Pass deal and everything. Gone are any kind of trials. So this is very interesting. So I'm very, very looking forward to seeing what they all do there. Let's jump into the second story. EA Sports College Football 25 has been unveiled with a new trailer. The first full trailer of EA Sports College Football 25 has been released. Features authentic school spirit elements such as team entrances, bands, and mascot. New screenshots also have detailed the graphics and the gameplay. Introduces a dynasty mode, which we definitely need, and Road to Glory career mode, which are tons of fun. I love me some Dynasty and Road to Glory mode. Integration of transfer portal for player transfers. And this is a new thing that we're seeing a lot more of, students transferring to different schools for more opportunity. So I'm wondering how that is going to affect possibly like Dynasty mode, or even the online competitive side where you get like a whole league together essentially. And if transfer portals will actually work that way. It's not necessarily trades like it is in NBA or the NFL, but I'm curious how they're going to do that. It also includes 100 plus schools offering varied team experiences, and the launch date is set for July 19th on the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S. This is so cool because we haven't got one of these since 2014. And we've got a trailer for y'all, and I am excited to see this because I haven't taken a peek at it yet. So let's take a look at the college football trailer. The Fighting Irish. I was like, why? Okay. I thought that was FSU, like with an eagle, and I was like, this doesn't make any sense.
You can take all that, just another game stuff, and throw it out. The eyes of the nation are on this field today,
I love it.
and that's what these players live
I love it. We got Welcome to the Jungle playing. It looks great, y'all. Can y'all imagine like the bull thing? No. There we go. There we go. Okay, we got the band. I want to see Troy's band for sure. Their like entrance and all of that. That would be super dope. Like the game looks great. Of course, like it's debug and graphics setting all of this up to show it, but it does look really cool. We got the Ohio State drum major flipping. Oh, and the foot slide. Let's go. Oh, oh. What is this with the motorcycle? Can they even do celebrations like in college? I did like the drum line thing going in there. That looks so good. Like I am excited for that. So July 19th, everybody, we're finally getting college football. I want to say NCAA, but college football 25. I don't like the name, but Amy said sports ball. I'm gonna just say it, guys. July 19th, gonna be playing some college football because I used to grind on some NCAA. Like Derek and I, we played a ton. July 19th, guys, is a Friday. Looking good. Dan says, I feel like they're doing everything except add new innovative gameplay for their sports they're actually playing. Okay, yeah, I want to see gameplay, like actual gameplay, not just trailer. Like, of course, like announcement trailers are always going to be more hype than substance and everything. Hopefully, we'll see maybe at Summer Games Fest some actual play of the game. Like, I feel like Madden has not innovated in a very long time with their gameplay, but hopefully, a lot of the times I felt like NCAA actually pushed Madden forward a lot of the times every year. But we'll see. I always liked NCAA because of the college atmosphere, and hopefully, this is just me. Hopefully, being a Troy alumni, we get the band, and hopefully the band will look good, because nothing worse than they making the band look bad. You know what I mean? Joe says, I used to play PS2 football games and hit onside kicks to steal the ball back over and over again. Nice. Yeah, there was definitely some exploits. I remember there was a Hail Mary pass. It's like you had 4 receivers going down the field, but the one on the inside on the right would crook. And man, it was very interesting to always play that. So I am looking forward to some awesome college football very, very soon. But you know what you can get right now is some delicious coffee brand coffee. Exceptional quality coffee with no gimmicks and no politics. Customer satisfaction, there's nearly 4,000 reviews, and they're all verified, with most of them being 5 out of 5. They got 12 coffee blends, 12 organic teas, 3 hot cocoa flavors, and for your convenience, they have cold brew and K-Cups available. And they've also added where you can have reusable K-Cups where you put your own beans in there. So the thing that always stands out for me with a good, service, whatever it is quality. And the thing that I love about Coffee Brand Coffee is that everything is roasted to order. So it's not sitting on the shelf. It's not getting stale. It's not Folgers in your cup. None of that. It's delicious coffee, fresh roasted to your order. So elevate your coffee experience today with Coffee Brand Coffee and use our code NerdCave at checkout to get 5% off your order, or you can use the link in the description below. Some interesting news coming out of the gaming world is IGN acquires Eurogamer and more. IGN Entertainment has acquired several major gaming websites: Eurogamer, GamesIndustry.biz, VG247, and Rock Paper Shotgun. The acquisition includes the entire Gamer Network portfolio. This move is part of IGN's strategy to expand its reach and influence in the gaming media landscape. Following the acquisition, there have been some redundancies across the Gamer Network. So what that means is fancy talk of they laid people off. This report is from IGN. So yeah. Why does this matter? This acquisition significantly boosts IGN's content and audience, potentially reshaping the gaming media industry by consolidating some of the most influential gaming news sources under one umbrella. Now, all of this is like in Europe. So this is very interesting because IGN does have a Europe branch, but it's not the one that kind of carries the water, if you will. It's there. I think they have a good reach, but gamesindustry.biz is something that we use a lot. VG 24/7 is another one. Eurogamer as well. Like, we pull a lot of resources, read a lot of articles from those websites. And IGN's parent company, they own a lot of different things, but I don't think this is to, bolster these specific things. I think it will all be folded in to IGN eventually. There's going to be definitely some restructuring going on. There's going to definitely be redundancies, as they like to call them, which is they're going to be laying off people throughout the rest of the year. They're going to see, again, I understand when it's like, oh, well, we don't need two HR departments. We don't need two receivables or payables. Like, we don't need all of that. But it's like, how many journalists, how many people are going to actually lose their job from this acquisition? I don't know. It's kind of scary when a group gets more control over the media. Hopefully we'll see, we've got a lot of independent people that are doing games journalism, but a lot of people pull their stuff from IGN. A lot of our articles are from IGN. Like, we get them from different places, but it's also kind of scary seeing IGN literally buy up like a whole industry essentially over in Europe. So hopefully all the people that have lost their jobs, they will be able to find something quickly. But I think this matters because you have to know where you're getting your news from and everything, and just, be cognizant of what's going on. It's not just game developers that are losing their job. A lot of corporations are definitely tightening the screws and trying to find new and different ways to make money in the industry. Let's move on to some PlayStation news. Naughty Dog teases game-changing project. Neil Druckmann, known for The Last of Us and Uncharted, teases a new project that could shift how the mainstream audiences view gaming. The TV adaptation of The Last of Us showcased gaming's potential to reach a broader audience, influencing the direction of the new game. Druckmann believes that the new game will continue to elevate gaming's status, potentially attracting even more diverse players. Druckmann said, "This visibility excites me not only for our current project, but for broader potential of gaming to captivate a global audience. I'm eager to see how this new game resonates, especially following the success of The Last of Us, as it could redefine mainstream perceptions of gaming." Why it matters. Naughty Dog is the gold standard of story-based games. And that's not just for PlayStation, but the industry as a whole. With this new project, this could be a redefining moment for gamers. And let's just be honest, The Last of Us was a huge shift in how games were made. I remember PS3, the end of the life cycle, Last of Us came out, and it was groundbreaking. And Uncharted did some amazing things throughout the PS3 life cycle. And Uncharted 4 was a huge, huge game for the PlayStation 4. So if this could actually redefine how the mainstream looks at this, I think will be awesome. But it has to be a groundbreaking game. It cannot just be another, oh, this is The Last of Us, it's really good, and then the TV show be the thing that everybody knows. Like, yes, the TV show pushed a lot of people into buying the game and playing the games, which is great, but the material has to be there. And Neil Druckmann does a great job of writing, but I don't know how long we can go with just The Last of Us storyline. There's a lot of story there. But let's go a little bit deeper here. Okay. Naughty Dog is PlayStation's crown jewel. As much as I want it to be Santa Monica, because I love Santa Monica. Santa Monica is a fantastic studio, God of War and all of that. But they're known for producing massive games. They're known for being the one that just sells games like nobody's business. But recently, we got a canceled Last of Us multiplayer game. Just this year, it just finally got canceled. And that was such a weird time because I don't remember a Naughty Dog game that had been that far along that we knew about as the public had got canceled. They've always come out, but that one got canceled, and there's a lot of possible reason. The game could have just not been fun. All right. And PlayStation didn't want to take a chance on a game that wasn't fun. Also, it could have been a project that nobody was passionate about because Jim Ryan was pushing live service games. That could be it. But nobody wants to play live service games. I talked about that a lot last week. Everybody's just tired of it. They want to play games that are story based. They want to play something that they can play with their friends, that they don't feel like they're getting microtransaction to death. So I think with the show's popularity, it was already a really popular game series, but with it being the smash hit of last year, because again, they weren't competing with, something like House of Dragons, Game of Thrones, or anything like that. It was a year that literally was, this is the Last of Us year. And this year has felt kind of like the year of Fallout, but we're fixing to start getting some bigger shows again. I think that we can expect more entries into the Last of Us franchise. I just hope we don't get so many that it bogs things down. And, just to say this, PlayStation is bringing a lot of their properties, Horizon, God of War, into TV shows. Like there's going to be a God of War TV show. There's going to be Horizon TV show. And I think we're going to see more of that. Super Mario Brothers was the highest grossing movie of 2023. Barbie did amazing as well, and Oppenheimer and all of that. But Super Mario Brothers made the most money out of anything, and that's based off of a game. The big shows right now, Fallout is doing crazy numbers. They've already renewed for season 2 and season 3. And I thought the Fallout show was great. So we're going to see a lot more video game adaptations that will stay truer to the source material. Because if you look at Fallout, it's really close to the game. Of course, they can't do everything, but there's a lot of nods. There's a lot of the feel of what you would be in the game. Same thing. The Last of Us, like there were some places that were literally 1-to-1 of the game. So that's super dope. Gone are the days of the Doom movie with Dwayne the Rock Johnson, or the Hitman movie, or like Assassin's Creed with Michael Fassbender that uses the name but doesn't actually use all the source material to really make people buy into it. And it's like, people are not dumb. We watched all the Marvel stuff. And how convoluted it could be, and they still made tons of money. You don't have to water these things down. So I'm excited to see where this possibly can go. I still need to play The Last of Us 2, but I believe that Neil Druckmann can make an awesome game. And one story, I don't know if it's in the quick hits or not, but PlayStation is wanting to focus on more big story-based games. And I think that's a win for all of us. That is a win for all of us, everybody. So that is super, super exciting. Let's move. Yes, Mario made the most, which is crazy, but Mario made the most. Last year was kind of a weird year. Like we had some big movies come out, but yeah, Mario made the most in 2023. Yeah, Nate, I agree. Story games are great. That's the whole reason I'm a gamer. Like, yes, it's fun to play games with your friends and all that, but that's never been my motivation to play video games. I would rather play a game over watching a TV show or reading or whatever. Like gaming, it has always been like the star on the Christmas tree, if you will. It's always been the top one. So having stories has always been my biggest passion. So I'm excited to see where it goes. Let's move into some Helldivers and Arrowhead news. Arrowhead aims to be the next Blizzard, hopefully without all the misconduct issues. Arrowhead aims to emulate the success of Blizzard and From Software, renowned for the World of Warcraft and, of course, Dark Souls Elden Ring. Johan Pistout, I don't know how to say his last name, transitions to Chief Creative Officer, with Shams Jonji stepping in as CEO to help achieve these lofty goals. Now, the reason why the CEO has stepped down is because he wants to make the game great. He's gotten the studio to there, but he wants to focus on the creative side of things. And I love that. Knowing like what you're passionate about, knowing what you want to strive for, I think is really important, because you can be in this position and be miserable and not be able to actually affect the change that you want, because you're having to do all of this kind of this deal stuff. You're having to do all of these things that you don't want to do, and you just want to make great games, and him transitioning is huge. Despite their ambitions, Arrowhead has no plan to sell or go public, emphasizing a focus on independence and measured growth. Thank the good Lord. Helldivers 2 shattered records by selling 12 million copies in 12 weeks, becoming the fastest selling PlayStation game ever. Selling 12 million copies in 12 weeks. That's amazing. Arrowhead wants to become a top choice for developers who are passionate about creating co-op games similar to Blizzard's appeal in its prime. Arrowhead plans to take more time with patches to ensure quality, addressing the influx of player toxicity and demands for new content. So why does this matter? Arrowhead's ambitions and strategic choices highlight its potential to becoming a leading game developer studio, fostering innovation and maintaining a strong commitment to quality and independence. This is huge. Let's go a little bit deeper here, guys. This is huge because so many times game development companies see the light at the end of the tunnel. They see the buyout. You know, the people that are the heads of this, they say, oh, here we go. Here's a buyout. PlayStation wants to buy us. And they go ahead and say, yeah, let's do that. And then you're just like, okay. And then everything shifts. But Arrowhead is over here saying, no, we want to focus on making great games. We want game developers that want to make great games to come here and work. And that's saying a lot, especially in this climate where so many studios are either laying people off or they're shutting down completely. Arrowhead doesn't want to go public. They don't want to do that. And they want to focus on their independence and measured growth. I think that is a key misnomer right there, where it's like so many people want this explosive growth and it's not sustainable. We see it all over the industry, and that's why we've got so much crap going on. There is no way to have companies have explosive growth always. I would rather have it slowly work its way up and be measured, where people can keep growing. The company can keep hiring actual good game developers to be a part of that. And people feel like they're actually safe and not worry about every day they come into the office if they're going to get sacked. And it shows, case in point, when a live service game, it does well, is when it actually focuses on the players. Helldivers 2, again, I'll say this, sold 12 million copies in 12 weeks, and it sold the most games out of all PlayStation games. Like God of War sold a ton. Spider-Man sold a ton. Like, these were very successful, but they had, and again, this is also on PC and PlayStation. That's a huge, huge boom. So I think that's awesome for Arrowhead. I cannot wait to see them. And I think the small team can become something that is on the scale of Blizzard or From Software. Like, when Blizzard was doing the thing, they were doing the thing. They were printing money over there. And I think Arrowhead has, as long as they keep the focus on the players, and again, it goes back to their former CEO stepping into the creative part, I think that tells you a huge, huge focus of what this studio is all about. So I'm excited to see what Arrowhead does with Helldivers 2 and where we go in the future with it. But let's jump into some PlayStation quickies. PS4 players still represent half of the PlayStation audience 3.5 years later after the PlayStation 5's launch. Days of Play promotion reportedly set to launch on May 29th. PlayStation London studio officially closes its door as Sony reflects on Wild and Wonderful Journey. Stellar Blade Dev is considering a PC version and full sequel following strong sales. Death Stranding 2 is now entering adjustment phase that will last over a year. Helldivers 2 updates will slow down as Arrowhead wants to maintain a standard of quality. The Last of Us Season 2 will premiere in the first half of 2025. Ghost of Tsushima beats God of War to become PlayStation's biggest single-player game launch on Steam. Let's go. Love me some Ghost of Tsushima. Now, it's time for the Patreon Quick Hits. The Patreon Quick Hits are, of course, brought to you by our wonderful Patreons. Go support the Nerd Cave by getting your very own Nerd Cave membership to help us continue to make awesome shows just like the Nerd Cave, Eat, Sleep, Anime, and all the other fantastic content, just like the award-winning, the best car thought show in the world. I'll hold for applause. I'll hold. I can hear you through my ears right now. The award-winning car thought show that's every Tuesday. So if you want to support that, you want to keep the lights and the mics on, become part of the ship, part of the crew over on patreon.com/nerdcave. Thank you, love, with the claps. I know. Everybody loves some good car thoughts. I know I definitely do. Now, let's jump into the Patreon Quick Hits. Take-Two confirms GTA 6 will launch in fall 2025. GTA 5 sales have reached an earth-shattering 200 million units worldwide. Rockstar co-founder Dan Houser's new game will be an open-world adventure set in the sci-fi expanded universe. Take-Two CEO claims Roll7 Studio and Intercept Games weren't shut down. We didn't shutter those studios. Take-Two confirms update release schedule with several games cancellations, but we're not part of its core franchise. 2K confirms it will unveil a sequel to a beloved franchise next month at Summer Games Fest. I'm curious what that's going to be. If you got any thoughts, put them down in the comments. Phoenix Lab announces game cancellations and layoffs amidst company restructuring. Rumor Total War Star Wars project is in development at Creative Assembly. Let's go. Empire at War is one of the best RTSs there ever has been. Give me another one and another one. I'll take that, sir. Thank you, sir. Valve is reportedly working on a hero shooter called Deadlock. I'm glad Valve is actually making another game. Fortnite reveals its Fallout collaboration. Assassin's Creed Shadows pre-orders are looking very strong. Larian Studios Warsaw opens its doors. It's Larian's 7th studio worldwide. I didn't know Larian was that big. I did not know that they were that big, but hey, congrats to them. Opening a studio in this climate instead of shutting one down. You got to love it. You got to love it when you actually make good games and you focus on players. It just goes to show you. XDefiant will not feature any pay-to-win mechanics, confirms Ubisoft. Multiverses to add Jason Voorhees and the Matrix Agent Smith. Multiverses confirms new details on Battle Pass, free rewards for returning players, and new currencies. Yeah, because we got to have new currencies, so you can't use the old currencies. Yeah, that makes sense. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone Season 4 Gundam crossover has been confirmed. I know Dan is about to hop on Warzone to get him some Gundam skins in there. Madden 25 sets its release date for August 16th. Deluxe editions to get to play on August 13th. Kingdom Hearts series coming to Steam next month. So all the people that love some Kingdom Hearts and you're on the PC Master Race, you're going to have a good time. Just get ready for that Toy Story world. You're going to go insane. Nintendo acquires Hogwarts Legacy port studio from Embracer Group, which I'm glad. I think that's going to be big boon for them. Insider claims Final Fantasy X remake is not happening despite previous reports. Black Myth Wukong reportedly features more than 160 types of enemies. Whoa, that is really cool. Switch exclusive Picross S Namco Legendary Edition announced along with a May 30th release date. I'm glad we've got some weird names in here. Microsoft reportedly approves Ninja Theory's next new game. Hallelujah, and they're not getting shut down yet. Hunt Showdown's new gen console update is arriving August 15th, rendering last gen versions unplayable. Really? That's weird. Overwatch 2 is removing another PvE mode, saying it hasn't resonated with players. Study finds that gamers are becoming less interested in games with deep strategy. Mashiro Sakura reveals every Super Smash Bros. Ultimate character basically has the same win rate. That one's interesting because everybody has their main and they like have superstitions about them. Of course, the Wii Fit trainer is the boss of them all. Let's just be honest. The boss of them all. So we finally got a release window for GTA 6 fall 2025. I feel like that's a little late in the year, but they're saying, hey, we are the big dogs here. We're going to be in fall 2025. All of the games that are like kind of sequelized, you got your Call of Duties and all of that. I feel like they might be quaking in their boots here. I'm also curious to see where all of these titles shake up in the fear of GTA 6. Do we see a heavier first half of the year and a heavy summer to avoid competing with GTA 6? Because as soon as GTA 6 comes out, guys, I can tell you so many people are going to be calling out of work. So many people are going to be playing on the weekends. If Helldivers is still strong by that point, I know the numbers will dip on that. But GTA 6 is going to be ground shaking, and like the GTA 5 sales, and I think this is one of the reasons why it is later in the year. They want to make sure online mode is up and running at launch, because GTA 5 online GTA Online is such a money making thing. So they definitely want to make sure GTA 6 version of that is polished, ready to go, so they can start making new money. People have to start all over fresh and everything. They want that. So yes, would I like GTA 6 sooner? Of course. I want to play the story. I want to see what goes on. That's my favorite part of GTA games. But I'm glad that they're taking their time. They're figuring it out, and eventually we will get it. But it has been a very, very long time, since 2013, since we got a GTA game. So I'm looking forward to it. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Nerd Cave News. If you want to support and keep the lights and the mics on, make sure to go over to patreon.com/nerdcave and get a Patreon membership, a Nerd Cave membership that fits you the best. And you can also use the Epic Game Store creator code NerdCave and check out. It's no cost to you, and it's much appreciated. Dan, nope, not even Gundam can get me into Warzone. Well, they tried, Dan. They tried hard. They did. Very, very hard. Guys, I love y'all. Have a wonderful rest of the week. This has been Zach. Bye.